Coastal GasLink pipeline project is a pipeline that will take natural gas from an area near Groundbirch, British Columbia, which is about 20 kilometers west of Dawson Creek, and it will bring it down to Kitimat to feed an LNG plant that is being planned by a consortium of companies called LNG Canada, and that consortium is made up of Shell, KOGAS, Mitsubishi, and PetroChina. Well, I think we believe very sincerely that the project will bring benefits to the Moricetown area, the Moricetown band members. Several things during construction. There will be opportunities for employment, either directly through the contractors that we hire or as an actual subcontractor. So there'll be benefits for the individual band members to seek employment, as well as there'll be contracting opportunities for band member-owned businesses, as well as businesses that other band members work for. Part of it too, we will endeavor to make sure that there's proper training put in place so that band members who do want to work for the contractors, for the various subcontractors, get the necessary training so that they can not only develop their skills and be productive on the pipeline project, but that they have transferable skills to work in other industries and in other jobs once our pipeline is finished in construction. So for the construction side, most of that we will rely on our prime contractors. One of the very key points of our contractor bid process and evaluation is we require them to provide us with an Aboriginal training and hiring plan and program, and we'll be very, very cognizant of the fact that that is going to be an important point for the Moricetown band area. We will ensure that our contractor follows through on their plan so that they will be putting together training programs prior to when they start work, so that by the time we actually get out in the field, the contractor will have provided the training so that some of these skilled positions, some of the more specialized positions can actually be filled by local band members. So we'll rely very heavily on our contractors, but we will enforce and ensure that they follow through on our promises and their promises. Any pipeline construction involves quite a bit of, obviously, quite a bit of management of the land. We have to remove all of the topsoil in the land. We have to grade it to make it suitable for a pipeline so that we don't have any sharp bends and various other issues that could affect the pipeline in operation. So it does create a scar, if you want to call it, during construction. But the intent is that when we're finished, we put the ground back, we put it back into as near as course as what we found it. So the risks during the construction are things like groundwater runoff and sedimentation if we're building in times of heavy rain, issues on watercourse crossings, issues with wildlife and wildlife management. And all of those we have dedicated and specific plans that we've put in place, wildlife management plans, environmental management plans, to ensure that all that during construction, all of those issues are dealt with and do not harm the environment other than in the very specific area we're operating. And after that, it is reclaimed, and we turn it back to, essentially try to put it back to exactly the way we found it. Yeah, so natural gas doesn't spill. It's a lighter than air gas, so if it does have a leak or a rupture of the pipeline, it will just dissipate into the atmosphere. In terms of the chances of it happening, a pipeline failure is very rare. It can happen, and it has happened in our systems. We have continuous 24-hour, 7-day-a-week monitoring of our system so that the pipeline is shut down immediately. If we do have a rupture, it's detected almost immediately, and the pipeline is shut down almost immediately. So essentially what the risks are is in the specific area of the rupture, there's a potential that it could catch on fire and create a bit of a fireball, but most of it is remote area, and it very quickly burns out, dissipates, and then after that, It's the impacts are essentially in reconstructing or rebuilding the pipeline in that specific area. And again, when it's all finished, we reclaim it. Those incidents are very, very rare. The majority of, if you want to call it, leaks are very small, tiny, we call fugitive emissions that might happen from valves. And we have a continuous program in place to maintain and monitor our equipment, and those types of scenarios are kept to an absolute minimum. Well, I guess my final message I'd like to give is we're here. We'd like to talk. We'd like to continue our dialogue. We had a very good meeting today. It was, in our view, our first steps, and it's important for us to build the trust of the community, build the trust of the band members and council, and hopefully we can work together to make sure that this is the best pipeline project that's ever been built in British Columbia.